Thank you for being amazing hosts. It's a pleasure to be in Saudi Arabia for me the first time. And I'm very honored to moderate this panel, which is so dear to my heart. I'm coming on the heels of an amazing season in the United States. NWSL had a record-breaking season for women's soccer, was celebrated in US. And now I'm here with you, and I'm very looking forward to talk about football in Saudi Arabia and the region. A little presentation before we start. I guess you probably know my panelists, but Princess Reem bin Abdullah is a champion of sports and youth empowerment in Saudi Arabia. She founded the first girls football academy in the country and played a key role in establishing the Saudi women's national team, serves as the executive director of the women's football department at Al Shahab Football Club, and internationally she holds leadership roles, including being the chairwoman of Al Hilal United and the board member of Sheffield United FC in England. And her initiatives, such as the Sports for Development program, using sports to foster entrepreneurship and youth development globally. She is definitely someone we'll looking forward to hear about in this panel. Same as Monika Staab is a globally recognized pioneer in women's football, holding a UEFA Pro license. And she was a former player at clubs like PSG, Queen's Park Rangers. She later coached FFC Frankfurt to multiple championships, including a UEFA Champions League title. You work with national teams in Bahrain, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and you consult FIFA, UEFA, and others. Right now, currently, she is the Women's Football Technical Director for Saudi Arabia, and you're dedicated your career leveraging football for social development. So thank you, and honored to meet you as well. And on my left is José Herrera, is a UEFA Pro licensed football coach and with an extensive expertise in tactical analysis and scouting. And you coached already Granada, Malaga, and contributed as an analyst for UDG Tenerife. So it's a pleasure to be with you. And without further ado, let's start talking about what is the current state of women's football in Saudi Arabia. And I think maybe, Princess, you can take a conversation by giving us a little bit of lay of the land.
Definitely. Well, first, thank you for the kind introduction. And I'm really excited to be on this panel. I feel like I love the balance between someone who has been working on this for many years. Coach Monika has really helped us here in Saudi in developing women football and pushing the boundaries and pushing, like, even the things that we didn't expect ourselves. You know, we focus on the main cities, let's say Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam. But Coach Monika did a great job into opening our eyes into all the different sides of the region when she first came in. So, Coach, I know you're leaving, and I wanted to start my, my talk with this because we really do appreciate everything you've done for Saudi Arabia. When it comes to the current situation, I would say that we're really at the development stage. We do have high ambitions, of course. And, you know, if you ask anyone, and I think one of the things that shocked Coach is that we told her we want to win the World Cup in 10 years, which is you know, it's very difficult, it's ambitious, but, you know, when you aim for something so big, even if you don't end up reaching that, you will cut a long way and get closer to your goal. So when it comes to this, we are definitely at the development stage. We are moving fast. So I would say, you know, from 2007 until 2019, we had a league here in Saudi. We had a grassroots league that we did for fun that no one knew about at the time. And not because we didn't want to tell anyone about it. It was just a different time, a different place. You know, now social media and with the impact that it has and with the reach that, you know, it's so easy to reach many different people through social media. But at the time, we didn't have that. And from 2019 up to 2024, which is just 5 years, we have really grown drastically, like from the national team, from the clubs. You can see that the government and the sports entities in general and the decision makers are really supporting women football. And this is guiding everyone else in the private sectors and so on to actually also support women football. So maybe to sum it up, we are at the development stage. We are moving really fast. we do have our challenges with moving fast when it comes to the adaptation of the players, let's say, for them to adapt to what it means to be a professional. And I know Coach probably, you go through this with them, where the nice thing about them and the lovely thing about these Saudi women is they do want to improve, and you can see it in their eyes, and they're eager to listen. It's not like, no, we know everything and we're already professional players. But there are a lot of things that, because we didn't have the right training when we first started, has had its effect now. But, I think the Ministry of Sport, the clubs, and all of Saudi is fully supporting women in all aspects, not just in sports. And this really helps us improve, because we're always aligning with each other on what we should improve, what are the clubs going through. You can see that the Saudi Football Federation has always had their coaches come and see our practices, aligning with us, making sure that we're using the same programs in order to, make sure that to maintain, let's say, the quality between the clubs and the national team and so on. And everyone has been accepting of that at the clubs and sharing these information, which has helped us improve a lot. So, Coach, I know you're leaving, but you have started a big part of women football, and we want to see you in 10 years in the World Cup, inshallah.
Inshallah. And then I guess before Jose, I want to ask you, Monika, how does Saudi Arabia's development compare to the rest of the region? Let's talk about Middle East, where you've been working here for a long time. And how can you compare their progress?
Well, it's not only the region, it's the whole world. What happened here in these 3 years and 3 months I'm here, it's just amazing. It's this passion for the game, and it's not only a male sport, we know, it's also a women's sport. And you know what America has gone through, even they're winning how many titles, still had to fight in court to get equal pay. And when I arrived here, I couldn't believe what I've seen. And this is really unique. Unique is Saudi Arabia, how the women are being treated, how women football was accepted by the president, by the GS. And of course, we have some wonderful, powerful women which are driving these women football. They played themselves. I just call them by their first name, Atwal Amia and Alia. They're all in a high position, vice president, assistant sports minister, and the head of the women department. And all of them had this dream to play football. And all of them want to make this happen, this transformation we see here in Saudi Arabia, that these girls should get the opportunity to play. It's a game for everyone. I'm sorry. I mean, 55 years I'm fighting for this, that we are also here in the world, 50% men, 50% women, and we love the game. And I think here in the region, I was in Qatar, I was in most of the countries, it's again amazing what happened here, because they want this so much, and they have the desire because they love football, and the women are treated equally. And this is something I really like, because we have to share each other. We have to share our experience. Of course, we need the man. We need all that, many, many years of experience. Now, Saudi has just started. We are doing grassroots programs, which is for me the most important, to have the foundation, the really young players. And I'm sure Reem, she has done this for so many years, 5, 6, 7-year-old girls playing football. And the parents now, and this is what happened just in this short period of time, the parents see a professional, that a player, the daughter, can be using this as a professional to play football. And so all the prejudice, the cultural barriers, the acceptance in the society, the recognition is just so great here. And the social media, as you all know, Saudi Arabia is very top. In the beginning, I was like feeling like a pop star, because everybody recognized me, because I was the first national coach. When you went to a restaurant, can I have a selfie? You went to the aeroplane, oh, you are the coach, you know. So this is in Germany. It took us 33 years to get a professional league, and they do it in 3 years. We had 14 teams in the beginning, now we have 46, and the under 17 competition, and this is something you cannot believe it. And it's the driving force from the leadership. And everyone in the country I met, they want women football. When we had the first victory in the Maldives, we came back, well done, coach. You know, everybody, and especially the men who are around here, who are from Saudi, they applaud, and they really mean that. They're not just saying, lip service. No, they want women football, and this is really unique in the world and in this era.
As they say, when you build it, they come, right? You have to build a league, the players to come and play and feel comfortable and welcome and appreciated for what they do. Jose, in that sense, what do you think is the most critical factor in growing women's football around the globe?
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thanks to inviting me to this amazing event on the stage. It's a huge pleasure to be here, sharing this panel with you. And I will about how we can connect the field with the thing that we're doing here. That is, most of you are from the industry of football. How can we keep connected in Saudi Arabia, the industry of football, with the field, in which everything happens, So first of all, first point is keep working on coaches' education. As I'm going to say, as a head coach of Hilal, I can only talk about this, but coaches' education is crucial. But the point of view, which is interesting, is that to keep educating coaches for the women's football in Saudi Arabia. Why? Because, as we said, we are in the development stage. We need time, and we need to be really careful in the way that we train our future players. They need to play. So, if we don't get the point that, unfortunately for us, our women in here, we don't have a lot of time being training and playing, that means we need to connect this into our trainings. So we need to be focused on our players to invest a lot of time during trainings, playing. So I think this is the first point. And we need to educate the coaches, not even going that far on, tactical things and stuff, from the grassroots, 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, in every club, in every academy, in every place that they can just play. We need time. And the second point, so the first point for me is to keep focus on the coaches' education, as we know that the staff with the RTCs are doing a great job with the grassroots, because now we have a lot of girls playing everywhere in Saudi Arabia, which is massive. And now in the other point, it's like, okay, how we can give the tools to these coaches for the future, okay, to educate our players. I'm talking about, video analysis, tools for managing the trainings, for the GPS, all of this. Because once we decide, okay, let's invest in the women's Saudi Women's Premier League. I come from the Spanish league. It's amazing. It's stunning, the change. Like everything that surrounds a match and that surrounds the competition, the media, the TV cover, everything, it's growing a lot. So first point, coaches' education. And second point, crucial point, please, time. Okay, because we know the fans and the people from the country, they want the same results as the men's leagues. Like, okay, we need to win everything, and we need to win every game, and we need to, so we need time to develop the players, to develop the teams, to develop. I hope I can stay here for a long time and see how we grow in the league. So two main points: coaches' educations for women's football, for the specific needs of the women's football in Saudi Arabia, and time. This is the two things that we need the most.
I guess in that sense, what kind of investments have you been making in order to create this opportunity for the coaches and the players, like infrastructure, training facilities? What are those things that you think it's worth mentioning to our, this panel, to really explain what's being done to achieve these goals, to grow the sport?
That's your field.
Well, coach education, I mean, what we have done in the last 3 years, we're having A-licensed female coaches now, the assistant coach of the national team. We have over 28 B-licensed coaches, C-licensed coaches, about 200. We're getting teachers to do the D-license, so we need the female coaches. So I think this is a very, very important aspect. And so we're looking at the coach education. The infrastructure, I think when I came, I said we need a field. This was not expected. They're not expected in such a, let's say, time and speed that suddenly all these women want to play. We had 800 in the beginning, 800 registered players want to be a national player. I said, what's going on here? You know, so we had to select the national team, 35 players, and looking for a field. So now, of course, everybody is really working hard that the men have their pitches, but now also the women come. So you have one pitch for men and women. It doesn't work. So you need to have for both gender then the pitches. So I think that is really has improved a lot. Yeah. And what also is amazing that these big clubs, Hilal, Al Nassr, Al Shabab, Ittihad, Al Ahly, I think these are sort of the main. When we asked them in the first year, they didn't participate. It was the clubs which played before. It's not women football just being invented. Women football was played 2007. And I just see one lady here, she was playing at that time. So it was played in communities. It was played, you know, in more like in farms or somewhere. So it was not that it didn't exist, you know, and it was structured. 2019, of course, the federation, Atwa Arifi was the first board member. They had the first futsal national team. So things were growing already at that time. And I think these men team in the first year, they didn't participate. And then we asked them, and they all said, yes, we want women football. Again, in Germany, it took us 40 years that Bayern Munich was serious about women football, or was more. So it's this joint effort to have success. And I like this when everybody is part of it. And when you say you want to stay here a long time because you want to develop, 2 words you have to know, inshallah and patient.
I already know.
So they want, of course, going to the World Cup in 10 years' time and win it. Not only go to the World Cup, they also want to win it. So I think it took us also in Germany 33 years to go to to win the World Cup. So of course, but now we're doing all these programs, especially with the young ones, and the clubs are getting all our talents we build up, which is fine. And we're now having under-17 competition. So every club in the Premier League has to have a youth team. And this is the way how you have to build up. And now we are having the under-17 national team, of course the under-20 national team. So these young girls coming up now, they have to see their pathway. They have to see where they can go. So this is, I think, a very, very crucial element, how to lift and how to have a sustainability for the women's game. And we made a festival in Medina, which is quite a conservative part. And now we have a regional training center there, over 40 girls. And it's something you start. We're going to go to Mecca next week. And I know the girls all want to come. And the parents, this is the most important. The parents have to allow the girls and to support the girls that they can play. So I think that is something which is so important. And when you say industry, we have Lace in the Premier League, which is great as a sponsorship, of course, also for the men. And we now just recently have Rexona for the national teams. And they came and wanted to be part of it. So now, hopefully the whole world, and Alex Morgan, I always have to say that because she put in her tweet, there is no women football. When you see her, tell her there is something going on. And the world can now see what is happening. And people are getting in to be interested. And I'm sure this league, we have 20 nationalities in the Premier League. Very good players, the best player from Africa. We have national players from Iceland, from Nigeria, and this is what lifts up, of course, the level. Yeah? And the Saudi players are going to grow. And what I'm saying, 3 years ago, they never played 11 aside. So they start from the beginning like a little baby, standing up, start to walk. Now they go into school, but they're not teenagers yet. So they will learn, and we need people, the experts, to help them to grow.
And in this moment, I think it's very important to remind there are 2 polls going on your apps. One is about, the question is, what's the most critical factor in growing women's football globally? You can vote and let us know what you think. Also, which region holds the most untapped potential for women's football? please feel free to vote and show us with your votes what you think while we continue the conversation. I cannot not ask you, Princess, you told me when you were growing up, you were playing, and you didn't really understand why you couldn't do the same things. And I think that's a great anecdote to give a little bit of historic background of
Definitely.
why you were so interested in growing the football in Saudi.
Can I just say one thing?
Of course.
She is the best player from Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you so much. No, honestly, like just hearing, you know, what Coach has been saying, and it's just putting me into perspective how long we've come. And also, in other words, we are a young country, and this is what people don't sometimes understand, is when we are developing, when someone says that, oh, they don't have football over there, or they don't have this, we're not going on your timeline. We're going on our timeline, on our culture, on our religion, on everything. And time changes with the social media, with Google, with all of these things that are new to us. You can see all of us around the world. When we look at teenagers now, we're like, they're completely the opposite. They're more outspoken about what they want. They're more, like when they have ambitions, they're like, nothing is impossible, we can do it. It's just a different time. And for us, I do really feel like it came in, like football started at the right timing. When I was younger, yes, I didn't have any, well, I did have a place to play. I was playing with my brothers and with my cousins and with the boys, honestly, like up to the age of, I would say, like 11, 12. I never knew women played football. Like, I honestly thought I was the only girl in the world that played football. So hearing about, like, looking at Marta for the first time, or even Alex, like, even though she had some things to say, I still, it saddens me because I do see her as, she has been a role model for a lot of the girls playing football. And yes, this is just starting. We get that. We've been there since 2007. But as soon as we said we're ready to play, we want to take this professionally, we have received tremendous support from everyone when we first started our academy. And you know, at the time, Instagram was just out. So we only had Google, like really Twitter, but we weren't like really using it for marketing, right? It's still pretty brand new, I would say up to 2016, 15, 14. When we first opened up the academy, and it was the first time us going outside and saying, hey, there are girls playing, come play with us and come join our academy. We expected 20 kids for the whole year, right? Because it's the first time. We know football is a male-dominant sport here in Saudi, but it's in our DNA. Everyone loves it. Even if you don't care about football, if you go to a house, they want to know who you support. Even if my sister knows nothing about football, like really nothing. Like she once saw the ref in the field and she's like, oh my God, look, there's a fan running inside. And it was the ref. So she has nothing to do with that. But if you ask her like who she supports and everything, she'll say like Al-Hilal, and like she'll always stick to with Al-Hilal and wanting it to win. So it's in our blood and it's in our DNA. Anyway, so we started, I would say, playing. We do have football here. We started playing first year. I got over 160 kids registered. And this is with word of mouth, not even like really marketing it, not because we didn't want to, but it was just we were doing it because we loved the sport. We wanted to play. And when I look back right now at the numbers, we had over like 800 or 1,000 girls from 2007, and I'm sure it's more, from 2007 up to 2019 of girls playing and participating. And today you see the Saudi Football Federation, and you see the Saudi national team, and you see the clubs, and you see the people working at those clubs, whether it's Alia and Lamia and Adwa and Mdawi and Rawh and Sarah Al-Hamad and myself. We've all played together. We all love the sport. When we used to play, like it was, we took it so seriously. It was very competitive. Like we would get so aggressive in the field and wanting, when it was for fun and no one was watching us. We had support, because believe it or not, we were able to get sponsors for events that had zero audience, zero social media, zero this, but it was people believing and wanting to give us the chance to play. Anyway, so when we did do those things, you see today, we're all holding different positions in women's sports, and we all understand what it means to make it successful. So there isn't that selfishness when it comes to making decisions or helping out each other at a club level. Like even with Al Hilal, I represent the Shabab, you represent Al Hilal, we have people representing Al Nasr. But honestly, the communication between us and between the players, between each other, is always positive. And you know, we'll kill each other in the game. We probably want to like really like win and don't care about your feelings. Like you would see someone like on the ground, we would try to help them, sportsmanship and all of that, and that's right. But you know, we know each other too well to know if she's on the ground to waste time, and we continue and we get mad at each other. But that's football, and that's what's beautiful about it. It's these moments, the different cultures you meet, the different people you meet, how you're able to, like maybe I'm let's say, branching out a bit from the question, but I do want to say how important football is for the youth and how much it teaches them. For myself, I wasn't the best student in school, and my mother's here. I'm not going to point her out, but she could, like, she really, I was horrible. Like in school, in college, like I would get grades, but I just had so much energy, and I really wasn't the best at, let's say, studying. I was good at understanding. I would tell you what we're doing, but I couldn't do tests. I would say the biggest educational program I have ever received, honestly, is the football pitch. And I say this a lot. I say, like, football is life. It's like a 90-minute game. When you're a child or when you're an adult and you're playing for these 90 minutes, what do you do before these 90 minutes? You prepare, right? You put your body through a lot of struggles, through pain, through running that extra mile, through taking that extra hit in practice, or, you know, playing on injury. And I know no one advocates for not playing while you're injured, but technically football players are always injured in somehow. It's always a slight pulled muscle or something hurts you, but pushing through all of that and then going into the game, right? And in the game, what do you face? You face different obstacles, right? You face challenges. You're losing 2-1, you need to go back. How's your mentally, how do you deal with losing and putting all the effort and all the training and believing you will win and getting into the game and seeing all the fans, and sometimes it's you feeling the ref is not being fair with you. And usually it's when you're losing. Generally, you do have this feeling it's the ref or it's the coach is not, you know, the coach is pressuring you to do well. You're not able to score, you're not able to reach your goal, and so on. And then you keep on fighting until you reach your goal. Can you, let's say minute 60, say, you know what, guys, thank you for this game. It was really good. I'm tired. I don't want to face this. I'm leaving. You can't. You have to wait until that final whistle, right, in order to stop. And that's life, really. You're going to face different things in life. And this is what football taught me, is that it really gave me perseverance and consistency and knowing what it takes. Like, I can push my limits, even when it has nothing to do with football, because I know I pushed my limits in football. I pushed my limits in training. I pushed my mind on all of this anyway. So just to say, like, I think what going back,
everyone should play football.
Everyone should play football, or any sport. Honestly, football is amazing, and you know, in any sport. But anyway, like, I feel like this is something that I really just wanted to highlight.
Thank you for that. But now that you mentioned that, I'm sure you can now maybe give us like a little bit of lay of the land, how competitive Saudi women football players are, given, you know, Princess showing like the baseline here a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment, I know
And
that
talent-wise.
I really understand, and I really know the position that I have on what I'm going to share. And because this is, you know, like a big speaker for the world of football, and it's like most of the people has completely different idea of the football that we play here. Mm-hmm. Point one, the passion and the commitment that all of our players, not only my players, all the players in the league, even the under-17s and the small girls, the passion and the commitment they show every day. They come every day with the eyes like this, like, coach, what I'm going to learn today, what do I need to improve, what I need to do in my house, how do I need to eat, how do I need to sleep, how do I need to analyze the game. So this is the point one. Second, the rhythm on the rhythm of the league, like by playing, the level of the competition during matches and during the whole league is growing massively. And if you go, I will invite everybody here, all the audience, to go live to one match here in Saudi Arabia, wherever they want. You will see the rhythm, you will see the competition in between the players, you will see now the coaches that we are getting tactically, really strong. So the teams are improving a lot. So connecting with the idea, do you have a company or do you work in the industry of football everywhere in the world and you want to invest in here? Yes, do it. This is the place because this has a lot of future in the league. Second point, are you an agent that are interested to put an international player from overseas in Saudi Arabia? Yes, do it. If you're an agent that you're looking for talent, to be next to her on her football career, yes, this is your country, do it. Because, as Princess said, we are in the development stage and we are growing. So we need investment, we need agents, we need coaches, we need funds, So, and no worries. I mean, we will do our job, I promise. I promise. So please be focused on this. We are a league, we are a country that we are growing a lot, and we need industry, companies, private, also public, that we have a lot of support nowadays. So, as I said before, it's a matter of time. But if you go to one of our trainings, you will see my players fighting in between them during small game because they want to win. So the willing to win and the passion and the commitment is something that we have natural. And I was really, really surprised positively when I arrived. So this is something that we have different and we will take benefit for sure.
So when is the next Clásico between Al Hilal and Shah? Like when is that game we need to see?
Well,
just give us a little bit of.
Who are you supporting?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I need to be, educated around which team I should be supporting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now in 2 rounds we play Al Nassr, Al Hilal, and then we will face Al Shabab in the cup round. So as I said, go there, go to the stadium, attend the match, because you will see how, all the things I've been talking now, you need to go there and you need to feel it, even for the trainings or for the matches. Because here, on a screen at your house or whatever, go there, leave it, feel it, and then you will have your own opinion. You will fall in love with the Saudi women's football, for sure.
And you can see it every Friday, Saturday in broadcast. Every game is live. So I think if someone is not in Saudi, follow up the league, because this is also unique. You have not this anywhere, that every game is broadcasted from the league from Friday, Saturday.
That was a very good, approach when NWSL did the same thing. You have to put it where you have to meet the fans where they are by giving them opportunity to watch the games. Before we finish, and I know this conversation can go on all day, but just to give us something to leave this room with, what are the big investments coming physically in women's football? Are we going to see like a women's-specific stadiums being built in Saudi Arabia? Or to make sure that women's football is a self-sustained product, not just an add-on for the men's football? What kind of financial plans are in place to continue the growing investment in this field?
Want me to go ahead?
You
All
are
right.
the marketing expert.
All right. So I honestly think like we live in a, we can't really compare women and men football. I feel like it is unfair. And of course, we do want the support and we do want all of that, but we don't want support out of, we want to support women football because they need the support. No, we want you to fall in love with the team, be passionate about it, go into the social media, criticize the team on how they played. Find that passion and love the team and love a player, all of that. And the way to do that, I feel like, especially in our time, is through social media. Even if we sometimes have, let's say, difficulties in getting people to come and watch the games, and not just in women football. I think internationally, this is something that's been happening in football. You can see they're like saying, oh, let's take it from 90 minutes down to more. You see those conversations happening because less people are attending games. But there are different revenue streams. I think if you are able to get, and this is really the club's responsibility more than anything, more than like you have to make the people fall in love with your club, and then they will show support and come watch the games. And by using your social media platforms and getting, like, let people know about this player. I'm an Arsenal fan, well, a Sheffield first and then an Arsenal fan. But I remember spending hours watching Liverpool on YouTube and the things they've done that have nothing to do with football. And I've fallen in love with these players and followed their journeys. So I feel like this is the new gateway of getting more revenue streams, not waiting for, sponsorships and all of this, of course, and you will find that eventually, because it's a growing sport and it's going to happen, and you see it happening today, but there's a huge responsibility on players, on the club, to tap into that social media market, because you can get some money if you monetize your videos. On TikTok, it's the same, on Instagram. So there are many ways to get more money other than getting people on the field, which will make you look even better on the field and make the services better, because you're getting all this money in that you can reinvest in your club, basically.
I think we need the players on the field, because the success on the field, like you said, this is crucial for everything. If you're successful, like I had a parent, before we went world champion in Germany, the parent didn't allow the daughter to come. We were world champion, next day she was in the training session. So this is also changing the mindset if on the field there is good performance. And what we have here is about 80,000 now girls playing in the school league, which is amazing that also everybody wants to play. And only if you have the quantity, you will get the quality. So now we have Saudi Arabia, a big country, 8 times bigger than Germany, I was told, 33 million, these young generation. So we haven't explored all the talents or the potential. We're just working on that, because it's massive what is coming up, because all these girls want to play football now. So it's the infrastructure, having enough good coaches, getting them the facilities in the clubs. And it will work, because the girls, like Reem, Princess Reem says, that you have to be a fan of anything. And this is when you are born. You are born here, you have the DNA for football. And that makes it a really big growing nation for women football for the future.
Thank you very much for this amazing conversation. And we're looking forward to see success of Saudi Arabian women in the field, on the pitch, and also let's see if you're going to win the World Cup. I think it will be, inshallah. Ojalá, como dicen en español, ¿no?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.